Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Advance. This match was played between with the white pieces we have Hans Niemann, and with the black pieces we have Vidit Gujrathi. This match was played in Texas in Nytex Sports Stadium, and it was supposed to be held in three sets. Where it was in the first set you play 6 games, in the second set same 6 games, and whoever reaches three sets. Like 2-1 or like 3-0, it could be wins the entire thing, and entire thing was like $50,000. So it was a huge thing. But this game, out of all of the ones, were very very special, but because it ended abruptly and it features an amazing opening, so I wanted to show it with you. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Han starts with c4. We have c6, knight to f3, d5, and just going for this e3. This is transposing into the reti system, but here it looks a bit like Karokan, so it's like English Karokan defensive system kind of thing. Also, it is also known as, here after knight to f6, queen to c2, e6, it's known as like a star system, because here in this position you could go for like move like d4, knight bd7, b3, b6, and it transposes into the star system. We have bishop to b7, bishop to b2, rook to c8, and after rook to d1, bishop to b4, you play a3, pushing the bishop back, but not bishop going back, just exchanging that bishop, castles, bishop to d3, and you'll have a great game. But here in this position, after e6, we have b3, going for the same moves but in a different order, and Hans definitely, maybe just he wasn't prepared, because here after bishop to d6, bishop to b2, knight bd7, d4, and he just castles by with it. We have bishop to e2, and we have queen to e7, knight to e5, and just going for this bishop to b4 check. And this bishop to b4 check is like probably one of the best decisions Vidit has ever made, because here the best move in these kinds of situations were maybe just trying to capture the knight, and after this you just put the knight back, and maybe just play moves like bishop to b7, fianchetto that bishop, and it would be really good on this diagonal once white castles. But he gave this check, and I think this this is probably the best move, because here after king to f1 was played by Hans, we have knight to e4 by Vidit, and now there is a problem with this variation. How do you kick this knight out? The best way to kick this knight out is not actually to try and kick this knight out first. You kick the bishop out. You play a3, bishop moves to a5, you go knight to f3 back, and here after like knight to f5, you could also here try to just get the knight back, attack the bishop instead of playing a3, but it's a bit ugly and it's a bit unnatural, not something you would want to do. So that's why you choose to go for a3. But here after f5, now you play this knight bd2, knight d to f6, king to g1, and after this knight to g4, just putting immense pressure. You just play this rook to f1, but look at this position, it's just extremely cramped up. I mean, an engine could probably play this game, and he would probably just win this game even with the white pieces. But when you understand that you're playing a human, and no human would want to go in here like purposely. Here we have bishop to d7, h3, and probably you'll see a lot like remaneuvering of the knights, and here after b4, pushing the bishop back, bishop to c7 check, knight jumps in, and here after a5, you just push it back, you trade. Here after this, you play f4, and white might just get a great game, but you're just going to trade this, and once you trade, now this could probably be an idea, and it's just a very difficult position to play. But here after king to e1, and king to f1, and here after knight to e4, here in this position, one of the greatest blunders ever that was in this game was played, which is this f3. And I'm going to ask you to pause the video and let that sink in, and just think of this position and try to understand how you lose this game, and how you can actually beat Hans Niemann in this position. So pause this game and have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move, and the move is this beautiful knight captures on e5, because here after d captures, you find this queen to h4, and now there is nothing in this position. There are two mates in this position, first on f2, then on e1, so you have to stop both, and you cannot stop both. So it was on this move, on just move 12, that Hans Niemann resigned the game, and Vidit Gujrathi got this spectacular victory in a blitz system in just 12 moves. That's absolutely spectacular. I mean, like a dream come true kind of thing, because when you beat someone in just 12 moves, you're just on cloud 9. And as to why he resigned, there is nothing. Like if you play this g3, then just knight captures. Let me just show you g3, knight captures on g3 with a check, king to g2, and just knight to f5. And now what do? Let's say you play queen to d3, but now just queen to g5 check, king moves, and just knight captures with a check, king to f2, but just queen to g2 check, king captures, but here just grabbing the rook, and you have nothing. Even if you try this knight to c3 attacking the queen, queen captures there, and once the king moves, you play f6, try and open up the rook as well, and here after e captures, rook to d1, but here just bishop to d7, and now after this a3, pushing the bishop back, bishop goes back, but now the queen to e3 to try to protect everything in this position, but it will never work out. Bishop to d6, now you're also threatening this. If you play like queen to g1, bishop to f4 check, king moves, and just going for this very nice rook to g6 attacking the queen, queen captures, bishop captures, you get this position, you're a complete like exchange down, your pawn down, you're in a completely losing position. You never want to play this with the white pieces. So that's why Hans resigned, and definitely rightfully so. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these. So stay tuned to the channel and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon. Thank you all.